What is going on, everybody? WeedleTwineedle here, and we are back again with another Sun and Moon Wi-Fi battle, and this one's going to be against Patrick, a person I battle off my Discord server. So if you guys are interested in a Sun and Moon battle and trade, community chat room, and a place to hang out and such, feel free to check out my Discord server. A link is in the description. Now me and Patrick are having a rarely used battle today, as Patrick's packing a pretty threatening Sunny Day team with the Torkoal Venusaur combination. He has a nice spicy Flareon on there, with Mantine, the Blade, and Umbreon. I'm not a big fan of the Blade. It's very obnoxious, as I'm using the most heat CORSOLA set you'll ever see in your life. Dominable, Drampa, and some other fun stuff on that team. And since the battle started, I'm not going to get too into it, because I'm going to start just trying to get into the battle without talking about team preview that much, because there's no point in talking about it when we're just going to hop into the battle, especially with fun stuff like this. So good enough with my CORSOLA. As my last CORSOLA, was nice support with Stealth Rocks, the Mirror Coat Cheese, so how can I exceed that cheese level? Oh, most CORSOLAs are defensive. No, not this one. I'm gonna flex with Shaniqua. I had to showcase Shaniqua flexing again because she's just so beautiful. And now I'm gonna go for the Z move with Cutest Wall and get a Continental Crush. And I'm just gonna freaking hop in the air and freaking just make a huge ass asteroid and just plummet it on. I love that animation. It's just so satisfying. As Torkoal just drops. You can say that's like a choke on my opponent's part and he misplayed, but like, how was he supposed to know I had that? Like, that's my question. Like, there was no way. He was like, man, what if this guy is Hustle Z move head smash? Like, there's like, oh, okay, I guess he just got me. Here, unfortunately, I missed my head smash, and I was hoping I could connect that on the Venusaur, but unfortunately, even though he greeted there with the growth, I get rid of Sun, so it's only like a temporary threat, but it's still very threatening because he's at +2, and Stab Solar Beam is going to one-shot everything on my team. But thankfully, I decided to bring in Softfest Muck because I realized I was very weak to special sweepers, so a Softfest Muck tanks the Solar Beam relatively nicely, as the Venusaur reveals to be a Life Orb. Not too surprising there, based on that damage. I mean, resisted to that and almost did half my HP. Here, Jimmy just skillfully dodges the sleep powder because we don't do drugs, and I hear I fire punch the sativa, which probably made the room smell really bad outside in the beach, but it's okay, not that big of a deal. He's gonna bring in his Flareon now with the Japanese name, as I'm like, okay, he's in the Cherish Ball, so it probably means he has the Z move. I mean, that's just an assumption, you never know. So I'm gonna bring CORSOLA here, expecting anything, as actually he does carry the Z move, and I'm like, wow, my intuition's unstoppable. And he's actually going to be Z Celebrate, I think, or is he Z Happy Hour? I forget which one he is, but either way, yeah, Z Celebrate. The animation's pretty cool. Gonna make the present appear and hop right in it and then get some boosts. And congratulations, Patrick. Oh, I don't know, some SpongeBob meme there. Anyway, Superpower gonna actually knock me out because, +1 Flareon and all, so down goes my CORSOLA. I mean, it one-shot a Torkoal, and it almost, probably one-shot a Venusaur, so, that's something, right? I mean, hey, so that one guy that asked me to use Hustle CORSOLA, I see you. I don't know when you commented that, but I do see you. Anyway, in comes my, Muck, and I just wanted to bait the Flareon into going for Flare Blitz, honestly. Pretty risky play, but I figured he had no reason not to go for the fire move, as Rapidash just absorbs it. Amaterasu face tanks the Flare Blitz, as now I should be able to take a superpower after the drops from the earlier superpower, neutralizing the Z Celebrate, as now I'm able to knock out the Flareon with the Drill Run, I believe, thanks to the skillful critical hit I'm about to get. And that may have mattered on the Flareon. I didn't feel like helking because this is a fun battle, so I can care less. So down goes the Flareon, as Amaterasu is at very low HP. The Sun does fade here, so I can't take advantage of it with Fire Blitz, unfortunately. But the Sun core is dead, Venusaur's dead, Torkoal's dead, and Flareon's dead. So all he has left is to Blade, Mantine, and Umbreon. So all he has left is his defensive core. He kind of blew his load in the beginning of the game, so now all he has is defensive threats. So this is where my Drampa can shine, because Drampa definitely does well against defensive teams. So I'm actually going to choose to double switch and bring in my Predominate, expecting the switch into Umbreon or Mantine. So my opponent does decide to bring in his Mantine, the one Mantine, and here He's going to choose to switch out again and bring in his Blade. That was fairly obvious, because the Blade is like very mindless. You can bring it in on like friggin' Choice Band and Mantine's Flare Blitz and probably tank it. It's very ridiculous how bulky it is. I'm max attack adamant. It just bounces off, and I can guarantee that this Blade has 0 defense investment in his adamant, which is just ridiculous. That's how defensive the Blade is. And I'm not saying it's broken, I'm just saying that it's like really annoying to face against like every game, because I know it's like such a good defensive staple and you like lose nothing from using it. Besides that, its main weakness is that it's slow as hell, which I should be able to take advantage of in this battle, though Shadow Sneak kind of removes that weakness, but it's still a weakness nonetheless, because Shadow Sneak can't hit everything for much damage. So unfortunately I'm forced to sack off my Rapidash here, because I don't want to switch into a +2 Blade with my Drampa, as my Drampa does carry the Flamethrower, so I should be able to knock out this Blade. But I also know that I should be able to tank 1 attack from the Blade, because I am max defense, max HP, or near max defense. I'm some sort of weird defensive investment, so I'm going to go for the Calm Mind with my Drampa and hope that I can tank whatever attack this Blade wants to go for. As the Blade decides to go for Iron Head, he doesn't actually carry Sacred Sword. I guess not all of them carry them, which is fair enough, as Iron Head does do around half of my HP, which gives my Berserk boost, so now I'm at +2 special attack, +1 special defense, and now I can just knock out this Blade with the Flamethrower. He cannot outspeed me, with Shadow Sneak, so thankfully we're able to defeat this Blade. The biggest threat on his team is gone, pretty much. Well, actually, no, the biggest threat on his team was the Venusaur, honestly, but, the Blade's always a big threat. And that being gone pretty much makes the game much easier for me to win. So now in comes Mantine. All he has left is Mantine and Umbreon, so like I said, only having defensive Pokemon left against the bulky Calm Mind Sweeper, not the best, but here he does get the Toxic on me. I was kind of inevitable against his remaining Pokemon. But we're gonna go for Hyper Voice here just to gauge damage on this Mantine. Commonly very highly special defensive Pokemon, just tanks half HP from +2 Hyper Voice. I don't think I have any special attack investment on this thing, so that's just respectable damage at +2. And unfortunately my Jam Bad's being whittled down by Poison, but it's not too big of a deal. I can just set up on this thing because I know he can't really touch me unless he's going to go for Air/Flinches. He just decided to go for Roost because he knows he can't take too many of those Hyper Voices in a row, which is smart. I'm going to choose to go for Calm Mind again because I'm like, may as well, right? I mean, he just Toxic me, so I'm not going to die immediately, and I may as well just get more power in my kit, in my arsenal. So now I'm at +3 special attack, very bulky. And Poison brings me down into my Agua Berry, so my opponent probably didn't see this one coming, as I had this up my sleeve, going to get the majority of my health back, and Poison isn't really going to matter all too much, because now I'm going to have a couple extra turns to work with my boost. So Scald is not going to do anything to me, unfortunately, so I guess my opponent doesn't carry the Air Slash, he likely carries Defog. I'm going to go for Hyper Voice. It's going to do so much damage to the Mantine. Mantine cannot take Drampa's heat. Unfortunately, Drampa just does too much damage, and yeah, the Poison, like I said, very annoying, but I do have +3 special attacks, so this Mantine can't be roosting on me forever, but that's not going to stop him from trying, unfortunately. He wants to make the score as close as possible. I mean, I don't think he can win because I still have Cradomable in the back, so just that thing does do so much damage, and I really wanted to use it. So Hyper Voice, going to almost knock out Mantine, but he's going to keep stalling on, apparently. This guy has no shame. He just wants to knock this monster out, which is fair enough. He doesn't want to give Jam Bad the free one. And Poison is definitely doing its work here. I only have one turn left unless I want to go for Roost. But he decides to go for Scald here. I guess I could have pulled out the Roost, but it really wouldn't have done anything for me, in all honesty. So, yeah, I'm going to get Scalded here. As Hyper Voice is going to be able to knock out the Mantine finally. Finally. I just like put a Y. And finally, I didn't think that was possible, but I did it. But yeah, Poison's gonna knock me out, as down goes my Jam Bad. And now all my opponent has left is the Umbreon, the Luna, and I do have Cradomable in the back. And I am gonna solve this Cradomable, so that's pretty cool. Near max HP, max attack, pretty cool with some speed up investment, I do believe. So he's gonna go for Foul Play, and I'm able to tank it relatively well. As now I can just go for the nice CC, nice stab close combat. No boosting attack item, just freaking assault vest because I'm a man, and we're going to be able to knock out the Umbreon and win the battle. So pretty fun battle against Patrick. I had a lot of fun, got to showcase some fun Pokemon, and I hope you guys did enjoy this battle. If you enjoyed the battle and want to support my channel, please be sure to hit the like button, as it's the best way to assist in my channel's growth, and it really means the world to me. Your guys' support lately has been tremendous, and it just really keeps me inspired to make uploads, and Sorry I've been missing out on the daily uploads. I've just been so busy with work and school. Finals are kicking my butt as well as working, and it's just been a little bit overwhelming for me. So I hope you guys do understand. And yeah, the question of the day is going to be, what is your favorite evolution? Now, I'm sure I've asked this question before, but I'm going to ask it again because why not? Now, my favorite evolution is still Espeon. I remember going through so much trouble in Generation 3 just to acquire an Espeon because my Emerald's time clock was donezo, and I had to get Pokemon X to Gale Darkness just to evolve my Eevee with the Moon Shard. And after, I beat the game, I transferred it over alongside my Lugia, and I had an Espeon and a Lugia, and I was a very happy 11 or 10-year-old, and I was already into competitive Pokemon at that time, but I was still happy nonetheless. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll check you guys in my next video. Alright,